Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dating Diaries with Raquel. And
Britknee.
how are you today, Brittany?
Oh, girl. I can't even say it right because I'm hungover.
You're hungover?
Yes. But you
Okay.
know what? It's all right. It ain't the first time.
No, and it won't be the last.
Damn right.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Today, actually, I wanted to talk about a little bit what we were talking about last time. We were talking about vetting, and I heard again that you went on a couple of dates and you tried the vetting, and I wanted to see how it went for you.
Okay, I did. I went on two dates in one day, and I was really looking forward to trying the whole vetting that we talked about last time. So I did ask a couple of questions, but I'll be honest, I felt like I was interviewing these guys. So I don't know. I don't feel like it flowed really nicely. It felt more like a job interview.
Hmm.
And I asked some of the questions that we
I'm sorry
talked
to hear
about.
that.
Girl, I'm not. They weren't all that great, but so it's okay. Life happens.
Well,
So some
tell
so
me.
some of
Okay.
the questions that I asked were one of the ones that was very important is what do you do for a living? Because I wanted to make sure that can they sustain themselves? Do they have a job? You
Okay.
know. And then another one was what are your hobbies? I think that's important because I don't. I'm thinking of a guy that if he has outside hobbies, that means he has some passion, some enjoyment outside
Hmm.
from work.
Yeah,
And I would like, and then it just makes them more interesting if they have cool hobbies.
exactly.
And then the other one, the boring one, but we all
Which
need to
is
know is
which one?
what is your 5 year
Yeah,
plan?
that's an important one.
It
Definitely.
is, it
Yeah.
is. That just tells you if they're disciplined, driven,
Hmm.
and do they have goals.
Gotcha.
Then the last one I did ask, this one I think was the most important of all of them,
Which
was
is.
what is the size of your package?
Did you really ask that
Okay,
question?
I didn't ask him to both guys. I only asked him to one, and he gave me crazy eyes, so I stopped asking that one after the second
Oh,
one.
how wait, I'm curious. How do you ask that question?
Well, I just we okay. Obviously, we were talking serious first, and then I threw the whole what is the size of your. I said package. Every person knows.
Straight out like
Yeah,
that.
everybody knows
Okay.
what a package is. You know.
Was he surprised that you asked him that?
Yes, he
Okay.
was.
Oh
I mean,
God.
I
Did he
think
answer?
he stood quiet for a minute, and he
Uh-huh.
says, "Well, I've been told that I am, well, I was the word well
Well
endowed."
endowed. Yeah.
You know
Okay.
they lie to that guy.
Hmm.
Every girl says that just to not hurt their feelings, but probably average.
It's probably average. Okay. Oh well. Well, those are actually really good questions. I'm glad that you asked the questions. So, you said that you felt like it was an interview.
It did. It didn't flow like when you have like we're having a conversation like
Mm-hmm.
this. When I asked those vetting questions, it didn't flow like nicely like that.
Okay.
They weren't. Like both guys that I went on a date were not asking questions back. So it felt like I was hitting one question after another. They would answer and I would go to the next question. And in my head, I was just checking off these
Mm-hmm.
boxes for questions that I had
Right.
in mind.
Yeah. You know what? It's normal because if you haven't done it before, it's going to feel that way at the beginning. Like it's going to feel like an
It's like
interview.
losing your virginity, right?
Exactly. You were losing your,
Awkward.
your vetting question virginity.
My sherry.
Yeah, shedding, yes. But
Pop my
vetting is
cherry.
different for everyone, Everybody has different questions and people react differently to these questions. You never know. That person must have been like, what is going on? Why is she asking me these questions? But honestly, at this age, I think everybody should be asking these important questions.
Mm-hmm.
But you did, I'm proud of you. You asked really, really good stuff there. Even if they like it or don't like it, that's besides the point. The fact that you are actually being very conscious and very forward about how you feel, I think that's the best.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to you. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I'm
Yeah.
proud of myself, I guess.
Well, you should be, girl, because believe it or not, not a lot of people ask important questions. So you said that you had two dates, right?
I did,
Was it
yes.
on separate days or?
No, it was actually all in one day. It was on a Sunday, and
Mm,
I had to fit both of these people on
hmm.
this day because it was the only day I had open.
Gotcha.
So I made it work. I went on a date in a brunch date, and then I
Hmm.
went on a evening date.
Okay.
So it worked out,
That's great. I'm
kind
glad.
of.
Well, I'm sure there's always, knowing you, because I've known you for 10 years now, there's always an adventure
Girl, there
especially when
was.
it comes to
Oh, yeah,
dating.
yeah.
So
It was
you can
crazy.
tell some stories about that. I can only
Yes.
imagine.
Well, outside the vetting, there was a lot of things that I was looking at in these dates. And the first one, when I went, we'll call him No Ball Joe, because he has no balls.
What?
Let me tell you why, though.
What?
Let me tell you why he has no balls, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Is this the first one?
This is, yes, no balls.
Okay.
Joe, I don't give a crap what his name is, but anyways, so we meet up at this beautiful, it's like a Spanish Cubano
Mhm.
music. They had merengue, salsa, bachata. They had a lot of
Mhm.
really cool music. We meet up. I get there, and when you're going for brunch, you're thinking of eating, right, and
Mhm.
drinking. That's what people think when you think brunch. So I get there. Um, there's a food truck. He's like, okay, do you want something to eat? No, no. I said, can you just get me a drink? He
Mhm.
goes, yeah, I'll get you a drink. He brings me water. Girl, why do people assume
Hmm.
that when someone says drink, it's
I
water?
never assume water. I mean, you would
Well,
think
no
that the
balls
guy.
did over here.
Is that why you name him that?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so he does him. Okay, so he brings me a water, which was really nice of him. I mean, at least he made an effort to bring me water. So I said to him, you know what? I'm going to go get Raquel. Really? Girl,
So-
why are you poking your nose in front of me like that? so okay, so
Go back.
so
Go.
okay, so he gets me a drink, but it's a water. I wanted an alcoholic beverage, so I told him I'm gonna go get myself a drink. But I didn't want to be rude and not
Mhm.
offering him one, so
Right.
I offered one just because of being polite.
Mhm.
And I thought he was gonna decline and said no. No, he didn't. He took my offer. I was so upset
Oh.
because he ordered the most expensive drink on the menu.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, you could have just ordered a beer or something. No,
Mhm.
let me get the most expensive alcoholic beverage on that menu. And I ended up spending just for us two drinks
Mhm.
$40 for
Wow.
two drinks. I bought myself one and him one.
Mhm.
Well, anyways, I get back. We end up leaving. We go to another little bar that was more quiet, and then we could actually hear each other talk.
Mhm.
And girl, he was shivering. He had no sweater. The weather was cold. It was chilly that day.
Mhm. You
And
guys were outside.
we were outside because we had the brunch place was outside. He
Mhm.
was shivering, girl, and I was wearing this heavy jacket that I had bought. It was a
Yeah.
men
You
jacket.
came ready.
Girl, I came ready with
Uh
my little
huh.
men jacket.
Right.
Then I said, you know what? I said, you look cold. Would you like my jacket?
Uh huh.
He goes, he goes, So, anyways, so I gave him the jacket because he was
Mhm.
cold. He took it, but I had to tell him it was a male jacket.
Mhm.
Well, I guess he felt emasculated when I
Mhm.
offered him the jacket,
Gotcha.
and when I bought the drink. I guess. No, it's just then
you
that's why I call him a
you
no.
had to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I call him no balls, no ball
Okay.
Joe, because what kind of man allows a woman to pay for the drink,
Mhm.
take her jacket when
Red
you're
flag.
cold? Oh,
Red
not only
flag.
that, I walked him to his
Oh my
car.
God. Red flag.
Girl, yes. And then at the end of the date, he gives me constructive feedback. I didn't ask for it, but he gave it to me,
Mhm.
and he said that I emasculated him because I was behaving very masculine.
Well, if he would have stepped up and maybe
No ball
done what he
Joe.
was supposed to be doing.
No balls, Joe, for you, girl. Oh yeah, I know. That's the
Wow.
thing. He didn't. He didn't step up. But it
Wow.
was my fault for whatever reason. I made the
Mm-mm.
wrong moves, so now he felt like less of a man,
No.
and he felt like I was
Quick
the
question.
man.
Wait, quick question. When you gave him your jacket, weren't you cold?
No, I was wearing the long sleeves.
Oh, so you were okay.
Yeah, no, I was fine. I
Okay.
was pretty prepared for the weather.
Gotcha.
He was too busy trying to look cute that he didn't
Gotcha.
put a sweater on. I don't
Gotcha.
know why.
Well, oh my goodness. Well, this guy, yes, I think the name that you have given him
No
fits
balls,
him nicely.
Joe.
Yes. But going to your second date,
Uh-huh.
how did that go?
Oh my God, it wasn't good. Mind you, okay, so before the date, I was already really agitated, stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this guy wanted to go to the same place I met Black too. If some of you listeners
Oh, the
don't
park.
know,
Uh-huh.
I went on a date and it was at a park. It was the same location. It was at this park and it was beautiful. It has like a little
Mm.
lake and all, you know. So this guy wants to meet up there, pre-drink in his car. So he was gonna bring chuggers, is what they call it. I felt like a
Oh,
20-year-old.
Dios mío.
Like I'm like that's what I did in my 20s, girl. We he brings the alcohol and then he goes, "Let's get on the scooter." Girl, I was like,
Wait,
what
wait, wait.
the
How old is he?
I asked for ID because he said he was 35. I said, "Let me see your ID." I don't believe this. This guy was so emotionally immature.
Yeah, he sounds
Immature.
a little stunted there.
Yes, it was. Ugh.
Yeah.
So I did the vetting with this guy, and
Oh, yeah, how did that go?
it turned into a therapy session.
Did he cry?
This is whining Bob Joe,
Okay.
Mr. Whiner over
Mr.
here.
Weiner, okay.
Girl, I asked him what's the one that is really important? What are your 5-year plans?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy, I guess he must have misunderstood. And he said, "What were your 5-year regrets?" Because he talked about him being divorced and having kids. But mind you, he doesn't even take care of his children because they're in California. And then he made up this whole whining story as why he can't be with them. And then he was talking about his career. He doesn't like it. He wasted 5 years of his life where he could have been already making 6 figures. But now he's making nothing because now he got to go back to school. This is what I had to hear for about 40 minutes of him whining, and whining.
That must have been, and then you probably had to be there.
Girl, I was on that scooter trying to avoid him. Go fast away from him so you don't have to hear this sobbing story
Wait,
about
you
his
guys were on
life.
a scooter while he was talking to you
Yes,
about this stuff? Oh,
and I was
look at
trying
him.
to like speed up, and he kept saying, "Why are you going so fast?" I'm like, "Cause I'm trying to avoid your 5-year regrets, man. I don't want to hear it." I had to tell him. Like, look, the past is the past. You can't change it. You gotta let it go.
Right. Well, apparently he hasn't let it go because he keeps talking about it. And that's the worst place to bring it up at a date? No,
Yeah,
come on.
it became a therapy session.
He's not a good listener. You asked him, what is your 5-year plan? And he told you what was a what are the things that he regretted in the past 5 years?
Yes.
And that was not the question.
Oh my god. Let me tell you though, before the date, I got into a hit and run.
What?
So
between your dates?
Yes, a car hits my car. I don't know who does it. Obviously, it's a hit and run. But I still made it to the date, even after a hit and run. Cops were involved, the whole shebang. I still made it to the date.
Damn.
I told the guy, "Hey, I'm gonna be late because I got involved in a hit and run." Do you think that would be a follow-up question? Are you okay? Is everything?
What did he say?
He goes, "I got the chuggers."
That was his response to you being in a car accident?
Yes. I got the chuggers. Get ready for some scooter riding.
Oh, my God. Like,
I'll
cheer you up right, with the
immature.
chuggers. I know.
Emotionally immature, seriously.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
And he
what
has
happened?
a little girl, right? And then we started talking about what are those girls that do the fan
fans?
girl fans?
Only fans?
And he was talking about like he respects them because they make 6 figures plus. And I said, that's great, but would you want your daughter to do that? And you know what he said?
What did he say?
He said, "You know what? If my daughter ends up doing that, that's on her. That's her life." And then I know it's going to be controversial when I say it, but if your daughter ends up doing that, it's because there's some shitting parenting happening. He got really upset when I said that, but I was like, "Look, I'm just kidding. Look, listen, if your daughter does that, I mean, that's on her. Would you date one, though?" And he goes, "If she's making 6 figures, hell yeah, I'll date her." And I said, "Well, just know she ain't going to be loyal because values come with that money.
Right.
And loyalty is probably not one of them."
Ooh.
So it got really heated. We got into a big old argument. And then just, you know what? At that point, I think we had different values.
Right.
You know, he's looking for a woman that, you know, is making 6 figures, that wants to chug at the park and ride scooters and then listen to him complain.
Exactly.
Not for me. So I cut that date, like, and
You're like, no. Okay.
No.
So none of them got a call back then.
No.
Okay,
Mm-mm. It was just not. I think
not for you.
the brunch guy might have had a better chance,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but no,
Okay.
neither one of them. It
So,
was.
so let me ask you. Do you think that you're going to be asking future questions, important questions, at the beginning when you're first getting to know somebody?
You know what? I think what I need to do is
Mm.
do the vetting over the phone to save
That's a good
time.
question. Yeah. I mean that's a good that is a good idea.
So I think that having the phone conversation, and you can't do vetting through text because you
Mm-mm.
still have to hear their tone of voice. You got to
Mm-hmm.
see how quick are they responding, because if
Mm-hmm.
there's a delay in their response, that means they're not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to think of what, like, sometimes you have to also consider, are they thinking of what they think you want to hear. So
Mm-hmm.
I think phone call would be a better way to
Yeah.
vetting, and then you save time
That's a
from going to these locations.
very smart idea. You have a list of questions,
Hmm.
maybe 1 to 5 questions that you think are important questions. You
Yes.
ask them on the phone, and then if they correlate with your beliefs, then
Hmm.
okay, you know what, he passed. Let's see if we can go on a date. You know.
Yes.
But I love the question of the 5 year plan. I love the question of what was the other question that you
You
asked?
didn't like the one about the package?
No, girl. I think okay. Let me say this. I think that's an important question, but
If
I
you're
think
trying to get laid?
I yeah because
Okay.
like that's actually a good point because some people want just to have like a physical thing or something casual, and if that is important to you, you want to ask that question. Go ahead. But I think that a lot of people are looking for that relationship, and
Hmm.
that question is important. But I think it
Maybe
should
I'm
be
sending the
asked
wrong signal, the wrong
it should
message,
be
huh?
asked maybe just a little bit later
Okay.
on, because like if you ask it right away, I don't know. I don't know
Should I just grab it?
if the mood would be if it would be switched off. What did you say?
Should I just touch accidentally? Like, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. I fell on your
Yeah.
package with my hand. And then you don't even have to ask the question. You get to feel it and act like innocent. Oh
Oh,
no,
but no,
that's not
no,
what
no,
I
no. But that
want.
sometimes doesn't tell you everything because some are growers. Okay.
Oh, damn. Dang, growers.
See, chica, that's a whole nother topic. Okay.
Dang, okay.
Okay, but look, I just want to see really quick, just a couple more questions before we end the show. The questions that you asked are perfect, but how about asking questions about how do you show affection? How do you show love?
But his
Okay.
package. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'll stop the package. Stop. I'm done.
Another important question could be when you get upset, how do you solve the dilemma with your partner?
With
Okay.
your mouth in my package. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Be serious. Be
Ay,
serious.
Dios mío.
Brittany needs to be serious. All right, let's
Britney,
do this.
please.
No,
So
but those are good questions, though.
I think so, and I think all of it is important, not just the sexual part, but
Mm,
also the communication part.
the
So I think,
communication.
and I think the joking and all that's all good too. Like if they get you, if they get
The
your
humor.
the humor, I mean
It's the
that's even
humor.
better because if you start like joking at, about like serious things, they may be like, oh my gosh, this woman doesn't take this stuff seriously.
Rude. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
but there's gonna be a guy that be like, "Oh, that's funny, man. Let's get to know each other a little bit better."
So
So
I'll
it just
take all
depends.
this. I
Mhm.
will take all this, and I will definitely come up with those 5 questions and then do it over the phone, the vetting, and see
Exactly.
what happens.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I think it was an awesome experience that you had and that you're having. I know that we will hear more, and I'm excited to hear more. And also, you, the audience, will also hear some of my stories in the future as well. So hopefully, you guys will enjoy that as well.
Tripod. That's a good story, guys.
There is no
I want-
tripod. Is there a tripod? I don't know. I'll think
There
about
is.
that one.
I remember.
But
I went to his house. All right.
okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. And this is Miss Raquel and
Brittany, say it right.
Dating Diaries signing off. Thank you, guys.
Ciao.